and I believe you touched on it too, what role does faith in God play in helping us hold on to that hope, in helping us persevere during those trials, during that season where we want to give up, but we just can't give up?
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you a question. When you had this vision of doing this podcast to spread the good news, to talk about the word in the way that you wanted to, what was the hope for you to keep going when you didn't have a team and when you didn't know how it was going to play out? Because I often feel like, as Christians, we have to have something strong to hold on to, and not just only going to church. Because what people think, if I go to church every Sunday and it's all going to be all well and good, but also too, you got to also be able to sacrifice, pay your tithes, offerings. The word said, will a man rob God? Well, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to rob God. He asked only for 10%.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm saying? When you do those certain things of paying your tithes and being faithful to those little things, he'll blow your mind. But sorry, back to the question, because sorry about that.
No. And to answer your question, it was God's calling on my life. So initially, this is actually a spinoff from Sessions of Hope, which was a campus ministry and was located on Old Westbury. And then it was Stony Brook. And then I love what God does, because sometimes he'll sit you down and he'll restructure. He'll restructure because he said this was good for that season, but in this next season, I need something else. So I was running away. I'm not going to lie to you. Just being transparent for you, for the audience, because we've all been there. I was running away from doing this because I was like, who's going to want to listen to me speak? Why does God want me to do this? Like, I would prefer to do a small group and to be in the background. I'll serve in my church. I'll serve my parents' ministry, but I really, truly don't want to take the leadership role. But as I did it and I continue to do it, I guess what helped me to persevere is knowing that A, this is God's plan, and B, that if he called me to do something, he will sustain that calling. So that's really what it was.
I love that. I love that right there, because when you asked how can we play a role into our faith and hope, you got to understand that he has to call you to do something. When he calls you, if he said, I'm just saying, if we have a vision saying, I want to get myself a new apartment, new car, if he told you that you're going to have it, you better believe that you're going to have it. And remember, he don't work on our time. He don't have a clock. So when he step in at the best time, when you're ready, when you're equipped, when you've gone through some things, when you understood the value of, really, really seeking him first. When you seek the kingdom first, all these things will be added. But he said, seek. Well, you have to seek the kingdom. He said, knock and the door shall be open. But that's only if you go to him first sincerely. A lot of us, no, I'm not going to say a lot of people, a lot of us, we're not as sincere as we should be when we go to him, when we're crying out to him. And if we're not sincere, he's not going to give us what we're asking for, because that is coming out of the flesh. So when we have to operate out of hope and faith, knowing that what we want is not there yet, we have to understand what it does. It really means to be sincere in our hope, sincere in our faith, sincere in our confidence. Because in the time of waiting, that's when the enemy will creep.
Oh, yes.
Like you said, you was running away from wanting to speak because you think that no one want to hear you speak. God already called you to do so, but that's the enemy. He will try to doubt you, to shut your mouth. It's funny, because that's what I felt like he tried to do to me. Like, you know what I'm saying, with me not going to church on Sunday, because I couldn't speak. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, like, I'm on antibiotics right now off my gum. I can't really eat on this one side. And I could have told y'all, hey, I can't make it because of this and that, like that. But I'm like, nah. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you got to push hard when the enemy tries to come to battle. Because you know why? One, God is with you. And two, he ain't going to win, because goodness and mercy shall. It's not if. Goodness and mercy shall follow me. So in your whole process and your waiting, you got to remember that goodness and mercy is following you. That it's not asking you, can I follow you? It's not, it's following you all the days of your life. And at that point, you have to hold on to that. It's easier said than done. I'm not going to lie. Me and Jakyra not going to sit here and tell y'all like, yo, it's just like that. But it comes to, again, a relationship. You got to have that relationship to understand that when that goodness and mercy is with me, I can't fail because my God is too big for any problems that I'm experiencing. So when you're playing that hope factor into your faith, you understand that I'm going to make it through because the relationship that I have with God, also the promises can't turn back to him, So that's the answer to the question of that.
I love that. And audience, I want you to put down below what Demetrik just said. My God is too big